Um, is it okay to come out? Is it safe? Okay. Ah, hello friends. I exist now. I mean, I existed before, but now I exist more. And that's a big deal. Now I exist a lot more than I did before. Ah. Pa. How is everyone? I'm excited. My heart is going like super fast, and that's healthy. Because you know what? Actually, if my heart's going really fast, that counts as exercise, right? Is this stream considered exercise? I think it is. Yeah. I'm counting this. Yes. I'm Jade, and it's nice to meet you all. I have prepared a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. On. My name is Jade, and I said that already. Yes, and that's okay. I am 120 years old. And it's been, that's actually pretty young for an English VTuber. A lot of the HoloLive crew are in their thousands, and Debbie was born before the first human drew breath and understood to fear her. So, if you think about it, I've got a long way to go before I'm anywhere near their levels. But you have to start somewhere. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. But, now that I think about it... Okay. So, if a caravan put down roots and put up tents and called itself Rome, then I guess really Rome was established in a day. It wasn't built into the huge city, but it did go from nothing to Rome in a day. So I guess Rome kind of was built in a day, wasn't it, if you think about it? Or if you don't think about it. So yes, I am Rome. What I'm saying is, yes. I am definitely more than a meter tall. That's absolutely true. Yep. And I am a kobold. So a lot of different countries have different ideas about kobolds. In America, in the UK, and the Western regions, is a small little dragon creature like me. But there's also Scandinavian kobolds, which are small little gremlins that help out in houses and mines. And there's also kobolds in Japan that are little dog-faced critters. So, kobolds are one of those creatures that exist all over the world, but are very different depending on where you go. I guess dragons are too. Almost every culture on Earth has some concept of a dragon, which is pretty interesting. That could be, some sort of unconscious understanding of what they are, or it could be a really a good coincidence. I wasn't around, so I can't really say, so it's hard to tell. So I was born in May, kind of, the end of May. And there's not a whole lot of stories to that. I was hatched, and here I am, and... I don't really understand the human concepts of gender, it's kind of foreign to me. I'm okay with they, but I'm not going to take any offense if someone says he or she, as long as you're not being dismissive, with it, I think I'm going to be okay. I don't really mind. And I speak English and C#, which is a language, and it's absolutely a language, and that makes me bilingual. I speak a little Japanese, but not really much. Not really enough to really communicate effectively. I guess I have communicated effectively with a couple of Japanese people, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it's better than I'm giving myself credit for. But I'm definitely not fluent. I wouldn't be able to sit down and have some long, fluent conversation with anybody, but that's okay. Someday I'll learn. I'm getting better at it. And my illustrator and modeler was Rime-chan, and she did a fantastic job with this avatar. I love it. It's so adorable, and it's so expressive, and she just did a really good. She's very skilled and very patient with working through my revisions and thoughts, and yeah. And she also did the rigging. Oh, she's so good at things. She's really impressive. You should definitely follow her. So, I love the snow. And I love it when there's... I hate it when there's cold weather without snow because it's kind of like you're paying for it, but not getting anything in return. You know what I mean? Like, if it's really cold out and there's no snow on the ground, it's like, oh, I wish it wasn't so cold. But when there's snow, it's like, this is fine. This is pleasant. And you can do things in the snow that you just can't do anywhere else. Like, I mean, obviously walking in snow just feels different than walking anywhere else, but skiing or just feeling the crispness of the air that can't really exist without it, making the entire ground bright and shining. And it tastes good. I eat a lot of snow. I assume that's healthy because it's basically water, so it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Also, my cave has a hot spring in it, and when it's really cold out, you can sit in the hot spring, and it just has this wonderful contrast because your nose is all cold from the outside air, and your body's all nice and warm and toasty. And it's just the best. It just feels so wonderful. But I also like hot weather, because you can just find a rock and sit on it and just veg out for a while. Just relax on a hot rock for hours at end. So when it's really hot out, it's also nice. Not a big fan of like spring or fall where it's in between. It's like I would either rather have super hot weather where I can, go sit on a rock just for hours on end and reading a book, or have snow, because snow is just so unique and beautiful and wonderful. I also like meat. So I'm a carnivore. I can't exactly eat what a lot of other people eat. That's actually very comfortable and pleasant. It's not all meat that I can eat. I eat meats and fats and, I have to get some fiber in, so some lettuce and rocks. Both are good for digestion. But meat's the best, especially if you hunt it yourself. And it doesn't matter if it's like an elk or just like a bug. It's still delicious. All the more so if you caught it. I also love game design. I actually have made a couple of games, and it's a really fulfilling pastime. It's the kind of thing that every game that comes out is a miracle. I was talking about this before on the stream the other day, but a game takes so much work and so much effort on behalf of so many people that the ability to say a game is bad is speaking from an incredibly privileged position, just because you can say, oh, this isn't great when a team spent thousands of man hours working on it. And it's just fascinating. So I've made some games, and I plan on making more. And yeah, sometime I should get to show you guys that experience too, and how it works. I also read a lot of books, although nowadays I tend to focus more on books on tape, just because they're comfortable and I can, do something else with my eyes, like painting or just walking around, just pacing. Sometimes it's hard to pace when you're reading a book. Like if you have a book and you're just walking for hours, that can be a wonderful experience. But you will get lost. You'll get super lost. I've gotten really, really lost in a forest before because I was reading a really engaging book. I think it was one of Asimov's books. I think it was one of the Foundation books. I just started reading the book and wandering, just pacing throughout the woods. And then a few hours later, I just got to the end of a chapter and said, wonderful. Then I looked up, and I had no idea where I was. That wasn't fantastic. It must be said, that was not a fantastic moment, but I made it back home. It took a long, long time because I really wasn't paying attention to my surroundings whatsoever. So, dislikes. I don't like treadmills, and I don't mean the weird things that humans run on for hours on end. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about games. I don't like games where the play experience is the same forever. Like, there's fun experiences to be had in that. There are. And there's a level of mastery that you can only get by doing the same thing over and over again. But I feel like I get more out of a game that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I feel like I get more out of a good narration. Like a good narration story that... A story, yeah, just a good narration story. Something like Dota or an MMO or a gacha game can't deliver that. And it's not trying to deliver that. It's not like it's a flaw in the game. It's just, not what they're going for. It's not really what they're trying to do. I've done a lot of those. I have thousands of hours in Dota and tens of thousands of hours in MMOs. But now I have kind of changed my thoughts, changed my plans a bit. So now I'm going to be focusing more on full experiences, narrative experiences. I don't like assumptions because, well, I think that kind of speaks for itself, right? Like, people make assumptions and they assume something without knowing the full story, and that's never going to really work well for them. That's always going to create some sort of path that doesn't really flow together. There's not a whole lot to say about that, though. And yeah, okay. I'll just move on. We wouldn't have. Well, that's fine. It's fine. So this is going to be a channel where we play a bunch of games. That's kind of the goal. And here's a couple of games I want to play. I've already started my Bloodborne playthrough. I never had a PlayStation 4 until recently. One of my friends got a PlayStation 5. And they're letting me borrow their PS4. So there's a bunch of games that I never got a hold of, that I never had a chance to play. And Bloodborne is the first one on that list. I like all the other Souls games. I like the storytelling in them. They tell the stories differently than a lot of other games on the market. And I don't mean, oh, you have to be looking at a Wikipedia to get things. I mean, you have to look around, The biggest thing is that you need to walk around the world and wonder. And it's better if you don't look up a guide. If you just... The questions of, like, why is this robe that's supposed to belong to this person in this place? And then figuring out from there, trying to extrapolate on your own part, what that sort of environmental storytelling means. Like, what does that mean? And a lot of games, you can do that, and it won't get you anywhere. I was playing, what was it? I think it was Phasmophobia? It was a horror game. And I went into it, and I was thinking, oh, okay, let's try to understand where this ghost is coming from. I was looking at the world, and I was looking at the construction of the house and when I thought the architecture was from, and trying to figure out all these details that might give us clues. And well, in the end, that didn't actually help me. Like, the game wasn't designed for environmental storytelling. We did another mission later with the same room with a different ghost, and it was like, oh, okay, all that story that I made in my head was awesome, and I'm glad I made it. But I made it entirely for myself. Like, that didn't actually have anything to do with the game itself, I guess. And that's not a bad thing for that kind of game, I guess. But, yeah. Anyways, Bloodborne and the Souls games are fantastic at that. After I finish Bloodborne, I might start Sekiro. I do love stealth games, too. But Transistor, I don't really know why I haven't played this game. Like, it's such a good explanation of every game genre and style that I like. And I love their previous game, Bastion, and I love their later game, Hades. And I genuinely don't know why I never played Transistor. I think it came out while some other game was out, and I just sort of skipped over it. And I don't really know why. And it's a shame, but now that I'm here, I get to play it with all of you, and that'll be fun. Yeah. All I know about it is that it plays kind of like an upgraded version of Bastion with a sci-fi setting. And I'm here for it. I'm all about that. Seiken Densetsu 3 also is in that same sort of role, where it's like, oh, I love this game. I haven't played it, but I love it. Like, I know I love the game. I just haven't actually played it. But that doesn't mean I don't love it, though. I guess. Maybe it does. I don't know. But I'm going to play it anyways, because it'll be fun. Mario 3. I want to play Mario 3 because it's been so long since I've played it. So I did have a Nintendo long, long time ago. It was actually the first console that I owned. And I think that's about the last time that I played Mario 3. It's been so long, it'll basically be a fresh game. And if I play the Super Mario All-Stars version of it, then it'll be even more new, because that has 16-bit graphics instead of the 8-bit graphics, so it'll look even more unique and different, and it'll be like a new experience. And I want to do all levels of it. I sort of got inspired from this from watching one of my favorite VTubers play it, Debbie. And yeah, I'm excited for that. Ghost of Tsushima is a game that I was incredibly excited for when I first heard about it. And then I saw more about gameplay, and I was still even more excited for it. And then I saw it wasn't coming to PC, and, well, I was sad. But now I have the PlayStation 4, so I can play it, so I can actually get around to it. I think it looks fantastic, and I'm excited. I like stealth games. Stealth games are like puzzle games. See, in a stealth game, you have all the tools that you need, and you have all the bits and all the goals that you could hope for. And it's more putting it together. It's not about reactions, it's about planning. And it's about figuring out what to do when your plan goes wrong. And I'm going to play that entirely as a stealth game. That's my plan, at least. A Hat in Time. I never played any of the 3D Mario games, aside from Odyssey. I know that's blasphemy, I know they're fantastic games, but I didn't. I don't really have a reason for that. But, yeah. A Hat in Time plays, I've heard, like the old Mario 64 games. And I think that could be interesting. But more importantly, I'd be going into it without rose-tinted glasses. I wouldn't be going into it with the emotional connection to the old Mario games, if that makes sense. Like, I'd be going into it with as a new experience. And as a new experience... Yeah, as a new experience, that'll be a different sort of perspective on the game. One thing that's not on here, but I might do as a collaboration sometime, is also Minecraft, because I've never actually mined a craft. I played it a little bit in beta, like 8 years? A long time ago. But I've never played any modern Minecraft either, so that might be the same sort of thing where I might be able to play it without rose-tinted glasses, without the experience of saying, oh, I know this game back and forth. And I know that, well, people on YouTube would get popular playing Minecraft. That's just sort of a thing, so... yeah, I might try that sometime. But A Hat in Time, I am definitely excited to try out. And Sniper, Ghost Warrior. Okay, so when I was writing this out, I actually wrote in there Ghost Sniper Warrior, just because I forgot what the game was. But no, Sniper Ghost Warrior. It's a sniping game, and it's another stealth game. It's a puzzle game, where you need to look at the situation and try to disassemble it, try to, piece by piece, take out all the structural components of an enemy level, of an enemy layout. And the game is built for that, and, well, I think that's really exciting. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. I like exploration games. Exploration games are very fun as well, because whereas a stealth game is like a puzzle game, exploration games are also that, where the puzzle is, where is the world? What is the world that I'm in? And Ritual of the Night is, I believe, actually from some of the same people who made the original Castlevania games, I think. But it plays a lot like Symphony of the Night, which is another game I'd like to play, actually. Symphony of the Night would be a really good game. But Ritual of the Night, I think would be a really engaging thing. Oh, that's true. What if the Sniper Ghost Warrior was a Ghost Sniper Warrior? Maybe he is. I don't know the storyline, so that might be actually the case. That could actually be true. That could actually be, like, canon. I don't know. Thronebreaker. So, you know how I said before how I don't like treadmill games? I don't like, games that go on forever and ever and ever? And that doesn't mean I don't respect them. Like, I'll fully acknowledge that Hearthstone and Gwent are great games. But because they just, lapse into that eternal gameplay mode, that's not going to be as engaging for me. Thronebreaker is a card game. It's Gwent. It's story Gwent. It's an entire single-player story campaign where every encounter is a Gwent puzzle. Ah, yes, Kogi Igarashi. So Thronebreaker is it's a puzzle game. It's a Gwent game that is actually designed as a single-player narrative experience. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's really exciting. Like, that's kind of exactly what I'm looking for. Because I like some card games, I do. But, not all of them are... Very few card games have the narrative aspect that I like. The only one I can think of offhand is Chandelar, which I could play, but it's really a really old game. So I'm excited to try that out too. And, yeah, I know that I don't do well with horror games. I really don't. Yeah, I scare easily. So horror games are like stealth games, except that instead of being the powerful creature, you're the enemy who gets killed a lot. And I'm not usually... Yeah, that makes things harder. So I know it'll be interesting, and I know it's a good game, and I kind of do want to play it because it looks really interesting, and... yeah, I might cry. That might just happen. That can be fine. That can be fine. Yeah. Okay. So. Those are some games. I have more. I have other games I'd like to play as well. I have a whole list and plan and organized, and I think that those would be some of the ones I'll start with. I think. And one other thing I want to do is I want to be running a particular series. Every Thursday, I'm going to play whatever game is free on the Epic Game Store. The Epic Game Store gives a free game out every week, and I'm going to play it for an hour or two every week. Just see what happens. It'll be good for people who are, following the Epic Game Store and want a free game, and they get to see what it's like. But it might also be, interesting and unique, and introduce me to genres and experiences that I wouldn't otherwise play. Like, I have a whole bunch of games on Steam that I haven't played. I'm sure we all do. I have a whole bunch of games on Steam that I'm never going to play. Like, just being honest with myself, there's not enough hours in the day. But this will force me to play out a bunch of games and experiences that I've never played before. And that'll be exciting. That'll be interesting. I hope. That should be interesting. It'll be interesting to me, and I hope it's interesting for you. For other stream ideas, I could do a Unity stream, either just showing me bashing my head against a wall trying to figure stuff out, or I could try to get educational stuff and teach other people how to use it. I'm not great at that. If you want somebody who's really good at Unity, who can show you more tricks and tips, I recommend following Redefine Gaming. He's on YouTube. I'll put his link in the description later. But they do a really good job on their channel. But I could do some of that. I have done it before on a stream, before I came to YouTube. And it actually went really well. And I think that someday, if there's a game jam, I could do a game jam on stream, and we could just keep on going throughout the entire process. Maybe even get ideas from chat. I think that could be a really interesting idea. I'll probably be talking about game development in all the games I play, just because it's a passion of mine, and it's something that I have done for many years. But if people are interested, I could actually show the secrets behind it. It's not that secret. It's mostly just a whole lot of logic questions, but it's still really fascinating. Someday, I would like to run a tabletop RPG for a bunch of other VTubers. Not necessarily D&D. I know D&D is people's go-to default for streaming, but honestly, there's other games on the market that I think would actually fit better. Monster Care Squad comes to mind. That's a game that's coming out this year that looks absolutely phenomenal. You play as a bunch of doctors, not necessarily medical doctors, but you play as a bunch of doctors who are trying to find, diagnose, and rescue giant, multiple-story tall monsters that are roaming the world. and protecting the land. I believe like the plot is something along the lines of like the beasts are some sort of guardian spirits, and you need to protect them and restore them to health so that the land doesn't fall corrupted. And I think that would be a really interesting game to play and to introduce people to. Because let's be honest, D&D, if you don't have just the right group of people, can sometimes devolve into I attack the color enemy with my weapon for like 45 minutes at a clock. It's not always the best, admittedly, if you have a literal bunch of voice actors and your name is Matt Mercer, you can pull that off. But I think there are some more narrative-focused games that can stream. And I can GM that. I can GM a game too. I'd be definitely willing to do that. Also, Tilt Brush. People like art streams, but I'm not really an artist, if I'm being honest. I don't really do a lot of art. I can paint in 3D. I can paint 3D models. And that's sort of what Tilt Brush is. Tilt Brush is a VR game, application, not game, I guess, and it's a game where you play as an artist. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go with that. Yeah. But Tilt Brush is a application where you can do modeling and painting in a 3D environment in virtual reality. And I found out that I actually can do that. Like, I can actually do a Tilt Brush stream, and in the way that another streamer can do an art stream, like painting. It's a lot different, but it also would make me more unique, and I'm better at it than just, doing paint things. So that's one of my plans. I would like to do that. Maybe I'll do one of those next week. I could, yeah. So my plan is to have 1 or 2 ongoing series each week. Probably start with Bloodborne and Transistor, just to do every single week. 1 more day of the Epic's Game Store, where we're doing whatever Epic Game Store is throwing at us for free. We're going to try it out. And then for a 4th day, it'll just be a wild card. It'll be just whatever I'm in the mood for. No specific plans or goals. Maybe it'll be a collaboration. Maybe it'll be a chat stream. Maybe it'll be a Tilt Brush stream. Maybe it'll be just me sitting here staring at a wall. I probably couldn't pull that off. There's definitely some streamers who could pull off staring at a wall and keep it interesting. I think that's pretty fascinating, actually. Imagine being able to stare at a wall in such an engaging way that everybody is still entertained. Okay, so that's a new goal. My goal is to become entertaining and popular enough that I can do a paint drying stream. Right off the top of my head, I can just say that, like, Alpha Rat or Disguised Toast could probably pull that off. I'm not either of them. I promise. So, what are my goals? My first goal is to hit 1,000 subs. That's a long ways away. I mean, I'm still double digits. And that's going to be a very long time. But that's okay. The goals don't have to be anything right away. This is where I have to say, please subscribe. Sorry, but it really does help. I know that you see the people on with million subscriber count channels say that too, but yeah, when they say it, they just want to increase their reputation. I'm saying it because I want to exist. I'm not saying that. Never mind. I want to collaborate. I've already done a couple of Among Us collaborations. The last one went really well, and I'm planning on turning it into a standalone video. 10 IQ imposter plays baffle my opponents. Baffle a lot. I don't know. I made some real bad plays, but they were the funny kind of bad. And let's be honest, the funny kind of bad is perfectly good. Like, if you're doing bad but bad funny, that's still good content. Oh, and if I could collaborate with one of my inspirations, that would be amazing. I would be just head over heels with that. That's a long-term goal. I mean, that's one of those things where I have to be actually recognized and, cool and stuff. But I also want to get better at programming, and well, maybe you guys would help me out with that. I can do some programming streams. Maybe I can do some educational programming streams. Let me know if you guys would find that interesting. That wouldn't be anything I'd do right away. Like, I wouldn't immediately become better. Well, I guess every little bit makes you better. So yeah, no, actually, if I do one stream and I learn one trick, then I've already become better at programming and I've completed one of my goals. Ah. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. I want to enter a game jam. And I know there's going to be game jams, and I know I'm going to have the opportunity. So this isn't like a hard, difficult thing to do. But completing a game would be a really big triumph. And I'm excited to do that. And I think that we could do it with everybody here, with chat. And I want to make lots of friends all over the world. I already have a lot of friends all over the world in some respect, but I'm greedy. I want more friends. Ha! So some of my inspirations. Yeah, I really like Playframe. If you're not familiar with that channel, they're very comfy and wholesome and cheerful, and if I had to choose one real inspiration for my style, that's kind of what I want to go with, is that sort of mood, that sort of relaxing, wholesome atmosphere. That's my goal. I want to be the kind of... yeah, I want to be someone that you can chill with and just have a good time. Nothing too weighty, nothing too serious, no absurd combat games, and I'm not going to go on huge meme sprees. I might be a little. Okay, probably some, but not like... Yeah, never mind. But yeah, Playframe is a fantastic channel, and I recommend you check them out if you want a good, wholesome, relaxing Let's Play channel. Ina ma inanis. Ina is very much that same idea. It's a very chill and comfortable VTuber who just exudes calm. I'm not always calm. I am absolutely known to panic. But she's really pretty, and she's really good at what she does, and I think it would be amazing to be able to collab with her someday. I think that would be one of my biggest goals. Someday. Oh, Ina has actually said that she wants to play a tabletop RPG. On YouTube. And how amazing would it be if I could GM for a bunch of VTubers and she was there? That's possible. That's not outside the realm of possibility someday. It'll be a hot minute. I need to build more of a following first. And Debbie. Debbie is is definitely an inspiration. Debbie is a gremlin inspiration, I would say. Because gremlin, get it? Come on. Okay. The puns aren't going to get better if you're hoping for that, just to say. But Debbie is creates a unique atmosphere whenever they're in a collaboration. Debbie, because she's another non-human like me, adds a layer of interesting dynamics to any situation that they're in. And I want to do that too. I think that I would fill a similar role. I'm not going to be as yabai as Debbie, I hope. Maybe, I don't know. But I think that sort of shift, if you will. Like, what's another good example? What do I... Yeah. Like Altrive. When Altrive is in a Among Us lobby, you know that lobby is going to have a unique feel to it. When Debbie is in a collaboration, you know that collaboration is going to have a unique feel to it. Whenever... Yeah. And that's sort of what I want to be. I want to just be myself, but I think that being myself itself is going to be unique and interesting. Because I'm unique and interesting. I hope. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. So, hashtags. I don't really understand how hashtags work, but I understand that they're important. So we're just going to assume that they're very important. And use Jade the Kobold, both for just a group hashtag and for some sort of live hashtag that I'll tag that out when I'm going live. and people have said that I should have an art tag. And I was shocked that nobody's using Jade art. I thought that was going to be a whole bunch of people making artwork out of Jade. Like, you know, the material. But nobody, it's not really active, so, I guess I'm, claiming it? Is that how hashtags work? I don't know, it's confusing, but yeah. And then someone recommended that we use Jade DeviantArt for, never mind, we don't have to worry about that right now. That's something else. Yes. And fan name. I don't really know what, I kind of figure that's more up to the fans. So, like, if you guys want to be called something, just let me know. And, yeah. I mean, something like Kobold Gang would make sense and be, you know, fun, but that's also kind of, I don't know, is that lame? I think that might be lame. I have no idea. I don't really understand how all these hashtags and fan names and, I don't know, it's unique, it's weird, it's interesting. Anyways, so we can worry about that later. That's not anything that we need to really super hammer down right now. We just have a couple of hashtags. Kobolds. I like that. That's fun. We'll put that in for now. Yeah. That sounds fantastic. I love it. Okay. Yeah. And then a lot of the Hololive have some sort of tag, like icon that they use, and I don't have any icons. So I'm not going to worry about icons right now. That sounds strange and complicated. I'm just use a blue heart, I guess. Like, if you need an emoji for something. I don't know. Emojis are a thing that people use. I understand. Yeah. That's pretty much most of what I had. I was just going to spend the rest of the time chatting with chat and relaxing for a bit. Fun. Bar. Oh, so this background here? I actually made this. I actually made this background myself. I made it in Unity. I took some pixel art that I got the rights to use myself, and set up an overlaid, set it up, laid it out, configured it up, and then I attached the music to it, and set the music to loop. And I even added a bunch of commands, so I can mute it by hitting spacebar. I could absolutely show you guys how I did that in Unity if you guys are interested, if you guys want some Unity streams. And then I can bring it back, and then I can shift between my scenes. To my loading scene. I like the loading scene too, with the parallax scrolling, that's a slow parallax. I want to commission someone to make a little 16-bit kobold to run around during the loading screen, maybe with a little bit of AI. I mean, just to commission the art itself. That would be really exciting. And then, I haven't seen this yet, but I also have this thanks for watching screen. Yeah. I'm not ending the stream. I'm just showing this off because it's neat. I'm gonna stay here for probably another 15-20 minutes. But yeah, I'm really proud of that. I really like how the parallax came out. I like how the music works. Yeah. And it's comfy and relaxing, and it kind of fits. I think it really encompasses the mood I'm going for. It really encompasses the some of my goals in creating an atmosphere, and yeah. Just a sweet, comfy, wholesome atmosphere. Someday someone is going to put me in a collaboration with a bunch of Yabai people, and that's going to be scary. I don't know what'll happen then, but maybe I can convert them back to say so. That's got to be the plan. Yeah. I'm still trying to recover from sleep. So I have a story. A few days ago, I got invited to a collaboration for Among Us. And when I looked at the collaboration, it was like, oh, hey, awesome. That's at 6 o'clock p.m. at GMT-8. That's Pacific time. Okay, I can absolutely make that. So I cleared my schedule, and I set up for it, and I agreed to it, and I'm like, okay, I'll be there. And they were like, great, we'll be expecting you. And then I realized I was wrong. I was very wrong. It was GMT plus 8. They started at what for me was 4 in the morning. And I'm like, oh no, because I usually wake up around, I usually go to bed around 1 or 2, and I wake up around 10. So it's like, oh no, that's the middle of my night. That's the exact middle of my night. But I agreed to it, and they're my peers, and they're people who I respect, and I want to, like, you know, earn it. And I don't want to back out because they're expecting me as the 10th person. So I'm like, okay. I'll get 4 hours of sleep, and then I will wake up, drink a whole bunch of tea, because tea doesn't really upset my stomach the way some other sugars do, and go for it. And I did. And it actually went really well. And then I finished the stream, and then I collapsed, and yeah, that was pretty interesting. That was exciting. Really good group of people, too. Time zones are evil. I kind of wish that we had an actual... Like, okay, we have GMT 0. Like, we can translate everything into that, but nobody does. Nobody actually does that, which is a shame. Oh, I want to show off some properties of my avatar. I did a little bit of these before, but let me just... Oh, yeah. So I have a lighting effect, which I think is actually fantastic. It's beautiful. That's not something that you see very often. Yeah, it was the Among Us stream. And here's how I look flat with no lighting effect. But even with the no lighting effect, Reime-chan did such a good job with the avatar that it still looks like it has a bit of dynamic lighting on it. But it's just enhanced a bit if I add in this. And then I also have... I used this for when I was planning my debut as a spoiler, but I also have a complete silhouette. And I was thinking, for games, I might be able to do something... something spooky like this for Bloodborne. I don't know. It might be silly, but I like playing with it. It's a lot of fun. And... Pun. Then I also have a couple of expressions. I have... Angry Kobold! Arr! Then I have this pensive, nervous expression, which honestly, this is going to be common. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of moments for that. Especially if I do Alien Isolation. That will be so panic. That will be so very panic. And I have my blush. It is sweet and wholesome. Reime-chan did such a wonderful job on this avatar. I'm just so overwhelmed with how well that went. If anyone's interested in the tech stuff, I'm using PRPR Live. It has a different set of effects than the other things on the market, and it's the only one... Well, okay, it tracks pretty well. It tracks a lot better than some of the other ones I've worked with, but it also has that 2D lighting, which is really what sold me. It's like, okay, yep, no, this is what I want. This lighting option is... That's beautiful. That's just subtle enough that it doesn't, like... I don't even... Tell me if you noticed it. Did any of you actually notice the lighting before I pointed it out? Because it's just subtle enough that it just sort of feels natural, but it adds so much to the scene when you compare it side by side with something with not having it. So, yeah. And if anyone has questions, now is a fantastic time to ask, because Because I that's all I prepared. Yeah. Bun, 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 bun. Okay, yeah. So. Oh, let me pull up my book again. No, not that. Yeah, you should definitely look at Rime-chan's work. Where was I? Yeah, I wanted to pull up the game list again. So, I like a lot of books. But... Oh, schedules. I am mostly streaming in the evening. 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Central is going to be, on average, when my streams will start. I've been putting up a stream schedule on my Twitter, which I should probably put somewhere, shouldn't I? Well, tomorrow we're doing Bloodborne, and then on Sunday I create... Okay. Words. So this is going to be my average start time. That might fluctuate a little bit in either direction. Probably, like, some nights it will be 8, and some nights it won't be. But that'll be my average start time for most days. And for scheduled days, Saturday was Bloodborne. And Thursday is going to be the Epic Thursdays. I am planning on playing Sekiro. Okay, so let me talk about Sekiro. I started playing that, and I really, really liked the stealth aspect. The stealth aspect in Sekiro absolutely sold me on it. It's like, wow, I love this. Because, like I said before, I love stealth games. And the fact that it's a Souls game with a focus on parrying, which I love doing, and a focus on stealth, which just is wonderful, and you can actually stealth kill bosses and take away half their life in one hit, which is just an amazing reward, especially for a Dark Souls boss. And then I got to a point, then I realized, hey, wait a minute. I don't know how to fight things. I sort of realized after playing a bit that I didn't actually learn how to fight things because I was just stealth killing everybody, and I had to fight a giant bull, I think it was. And it's like, wow, I can't stealth kill that, and I don't know the combat system very well. I need to work on this, I need to get better. And then I did that, and then the next section I couldn't stealth. And stealth wasn't an option. So I kind of stepped back and said, okay, I'm realistically going to have to restart the games to learn the systems better. And then I didn't. I think something else came out around that time. So I will absolutely go back to Sekiro, because it's a beautiful game, and I love the game. I'm not saying anything bad about the game, mind you. And it's not even the worst case of this. The worst case of this I saw was in the pre-patch Deus Ex. Human Revolution, I think was the one. That game actually made me angry. That game made me actually angry. Because I like doing clean hands runs. If there's a stealth game where you can go through without killing anybody, I actually really enjoy that. Because it's an extra layer of challenge where you focus on stealth. So I've played Dishonored Clean Hands. Dishonored 2 is a game that should be on my list. That's a game that I never played. That I want to play. Actually, you know what? Let me... Pon. Soto... それは、ちょっと待って。yes, 早い。There. Okay. So, Sekiro. Dishonored 2 is another game that I really want to play. Oh, but yeah, so Deus Ex started out, and I was playing clean hands, so I wasn't killing anybody. I was playing through the game entirely non-lethal. I had a tranquilizer dart, and I was doing non-lethal takedowns, and I was all specced out for it, and it was super fun, and I was loving it. Then I got to a boss. And I couldn't not kill the boss. There was no way to fight the boss without attacking it. Just wasn't an option. And I didn't have any weapons. I had no weapons that could damage the boss, and there was no way around it. There was no stealth option. It really actually angered me, because it's like, okay, you have given me the options, and you have taught me how to do these things, and then you are giving me an exact situation where I can't do any of the things that I've been enjoying your game for. So I'm not going to add that to the list. I don't actually want to play it because it made me angry. But yes, there's a few first-person shooter games that I would like to play. First one is that sniper game. I'm just going with that. Yeah, I want to play sniper. There's a few other first-person shooter games. I don't know how well those will stream compared to like side-scrollers and platformers, because sometimes people get a little bit stomach sick for watching first-person shooters, and I can be a little bit twitchy. I can be a little bit hyperactive on those games. We'll try it out with a sniper stream, and we'll see how people like it. And then if people like it, we can plan other first-person shooter games. The other question alongside that is VR. Like, we could do Skyrim in VR, or we could do Half-Life Alyx. But I'm a little bit less confident in streaming those, because I'm not sure how well that will work, but I'm not against it. There's definitely first-person shooter games I love. No question there. And yeah, Dishonored 2 and Sniper Ghost Warrior are two first-person shooters I would gladly try. And Prey falls into the yabai section. That's oh. As far as Metal Gear Solid, I played the first two and I liked them. That's actually my that's the whole story there. I played the first two and I liked them. I don't know why I stopped playing them. I just never got around to them, I guess. Like, there's just so many games that exist. And even though that is the top of the list for a lot of people, it wasn't for me, so that just kind of got slid into my backlog. Metal Gear Solid 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I don't know how many there are now. There's many. So that is something I could be convinced to play. There's other games I'd like to play first, but I could definitely put that on the backlog. You know, for as much flack as we give Metal Gear Solid Story, and again, I've only played the old ones, but for as much flack as we give Metal Gear Solid Story, it has some really interesting moments. 2's moment, I'm not going to spoil it, but 2 does some really interesting meta things near the end of the game that are actually part of the story, where the game sort of goes off the rails, and you have to mentally process what is diegetic. Diegesis is what's real and what's not. Like, oh, there's a horror game that I played. Amnesia. Amnesia is actually a good example of diegesis. Diegesis is in a movie term. It means something that is real in the context of the world that the characters exist in. Like, the musical score of a Marvel movie is diegetic. It's actually is non-diegetic. It's not actually happening. The people in the movie can't hear the music. And in something like Amnesia, there's a question of what's real, what's diegetic, and what is unreal. What is hallucination, or what exists simply for the sake of the person playing the game, which is where I'm coming from with the Metal Gear games, where it's like, okay, is this a part of the plot? Or is this is this breaking the fourth wall? Is this something that doesn't exist for me? Is this something that only exists for, who does this exist for? And that can be interesting to parse out. Another good example of that is the item descriptions in the Souls games. Because there's a real question there about what we know. And how much can you trust item descriptions? Can you take item descriptions as gospel? And how does our character know what the item descriptions are, or are they supposed to? Or maybe they do know, and that's just telling us what our character knows about the world, Or remembers about the world, maybe. I don't know, it's really interesting writing. But that goes into game design stuff again. I mean, a lot of things go into game design when you're talking about games. I mean, that's, that's kind of part and parcel with it. That's normal. Pun. So yeah. I forgot where I was. I do like film theory as well. I know some of the bigger streamers have done watch-alongs, and that seems like an interesting idea, especially if it's a movie that I actually have some background for that I could share. That could be interesting. I don't know, I'm not going to put that on the top of the list, though, because... We'll see how things go. I know that Ame has done a couple of those. Which is a really cool idea. Like, the idea is that everybody hits play at the same time, so that you're not actually streaming anything about the movie. Like, it would just be the cave background for me. But we would all be watching the same movie and chatting about it. I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, I think that's something that we would sit back and think about. Because that seems like... I mean, everybody has to have the movie or has to rent it. And I also don't necessarily want to talk over the movie. But at the same time, if I'm not reacting, then I'm not... then why would you be here? So I don't really know. That's something that's worth considering, though. Watch-alongs. I do like good movies, though. There's a lot of very good movies. That's like an incredible understatement and not even a terrible... Yeah, anyways, I'll put that aside for now. But yeah, if that's something that people are interested in, I would probably not do that right away. I'd probably want to get into my regular streaming schedule. Oh, by the way, I do have a bunch of pre-debut content. Not all... I mean, it just has my placeholder avatar, but... I have that set aside in case people wanted more stuff right away. At the very least, it's worth looking at the Bloodborne playthroughs. Because I'm coming to that effectively blind. I've never really played that game before. I've never played that game before at all. And approaching it from a unique perspective of someone who has played a lot of Souls games, but never played Bloodborne, it's just a really interesting experience. And I'm really proud of those streams. And now they're going to have, me. Now they're going to be post-debut. Now they're going to get better. I hope. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's going to be much better. It'll be much better. So. Other game ideas. There's other platformers that I'd like to play, too. Oh, I actually have something... Oh yeah, Spellforce was another game I was interested in. From what it looks like, it's just a... It takes the mechanics of something like Dota and turns it into a storyline experience? I could be wrong about that, but it seems interesting. The Father Gascoigne fight, oh my goodness, that was so scary. That was... My heart was going a million. Oh my gosh. I did ace it. I did finish it in one fight. I had no health. I had no bullets. I had no blood vials. I had nothing at the end, but I finished it. Oh, that was super stressful. And then YouTube absolutely destroyed SteamWorld Dig. I haven't heard of that. Huh, I will add that to my internal list. Oh yeah, if people want another first-person shooter, I would be overjoyed to replay New Vegas. I haven't played that for a very, very long time, pretty much almost since it came out. But New Vegas is definitely the kind of game that would fit my channel and would fit my style. I did have 10 Molotovs because I forgot how to use them. Like, in the middle of the fight, when I was in full panic mode, I forgot what button you had to press to use it. Not my finest moments. Not my finest moments. It must be said. Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn is also high on the list. The only reason it's not, like, immediately must play right now is because Playframe did a playthrough of it recently, and I don't want to, like, step on them. I don't want to be, you know, just doing the things that they've already played. But that's definitely something I would love to play, and, like, desperately. Oh my gosh, that game looks so good. I'm excited. I think the Horizon Zero Dawn would be a really fun game to play on stream. But yeah, something like Pillars of Eternity for a classic RPG. What is SteamWorld Dig? I have no idea. And there's... Yeah. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to start streaming with everybody. I think that it's going to go really well, and I'm super excited. I mean, it's already going really well. I've already been having a lot of fun, and I've been streaming for a little while. There's not a lot... Okay, so gacha games, almost by definition, are treadmills. There's very few gacha games that aren't repetitive treadmills of content. I almost can't think of any off the top of my... I know Arknights has a storyline, but most of them, like... Yeah. If you can recommend a gacha game, I would give it a try. That's something I'm not, like, vehemently opposed to it. It's just there's really not a whole lot of things I can think of on a gacha game that would be super engaging, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not opposed to it if there's one that actually has some interesting content. And there are some mobile games that I love. Bloons Tower Defense is a fantastic game. I love that. Azur Lane? Maybe. I'm gonna put that in the maybe pile. That's... Okay, maybe I will. Yeah. Okay. That would be an interesting way of going about it. Make it a free-to-play gacha stream, where I intentionally go in with the goal of saying, hey, how much content can I get through without spending a nickel? Because that's relevant to a lot of people. Like, a lot of people want to play gacha, and they just don't want to spend money on it, and a good gacha game shouldn't force you to spend money. You know? That should be an option if you need to get over a hurdle. Yeah, Bloons is a fantastic game. I booted it up recently, and there were like 2 new heroes from the last time I played. It was like, oh gosh. I do like tower defense games. Yeah, I'd be willing to try Arknights if I could find a good way to stream it, but I don't... I'd have to figure out... Does that have a PC version? Does Arknights have a PC version? Not on Steam. I don't know. If there's a good way of streaming it, I would be willing to try it out. I love the artwork in Arknights, and in a lot of the gacha games. Like, gacha games have fantastic artwork. Some of them spend more time in the artwork than they spend in, you know, the rest of the game combined. But, you know, that's a choice. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I think I'm going to call the stream here, and thank everybody for joining me, because this was fun, and it's going to keep being fun. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'll be playing Bloodborne, and I'll come up with my schedule for next week and post it to Twitter. My Twitter is, yeah, let me put that on screen. It's actually the same as that hashtag. That would be... Oh man, imagine me trying to do a free-to-play stream and then just me just absolutely wailing. That would sure be a thing. Well, thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you soon. Okay. That went well. I think that went well. I hope that went well. Okay. Think. I had food. I had water. I need more water. And I feel proud of myself. Yeah. Hi.